Well, Merry Christmas to every single person and a happy holidays for those who do not celebrate. Today is a special one because this is the first time that I am actually going to be replying a comment with a video. And this comment was such a good one that I just needed. I absolutely needed to reply to it with the video because it was that good. And shout out to Paul. Paul says, who or should Man United buy in January, and what do you think of João Gomes? I think he could be good. I wait a reply and would like to know your thoughts, mate. I'm not going to finish the rest. However, just to give you guys an example of what the message said, and I just needed to respond to that. Now, the key part about this situation, I'm going to start with João Gomes and why I think João Gomes is actually a really good player. A really good player. However, we need to break down what João Gomes will be able to bring to Manchester United, and then I'll give you an example of players that I believe might be a better standing from João Gomes to Manchester United. Better in the sense of they are younger, they have more of a higher ceiling in my opinion, and what I think they bring to Manchester United that might just be better than João Gomes in our team. So without further ado, let's get this started because this is an exciting one. This is for you. Let's go. First things first, who is João Gomes? We know this guy plays for Wolves, and Wolves are struggling in the best way to even put it. However, what are his strengths? I'm going to start with his strengths. And now we have to know he is an elite ball-winning defensive impact kind of midfielder. Somebody that is built in breaking the play, built in strong tackling, interceptions, and ball recoveries, ranked him one of the highest in the Premier League. So we all know that. And of course, he is an excellent midfielder. He wins his duels, his recovery pace, and one of the key parts is that he doesn't need to go to the ground in order for him to win those balls. Now, why does this matter to Manchester United? Man United have struggled in a very, very tough time in order for us to protect the middle of the park, protect the ball, and just create a sense of being hard, it being difficult to defeat, it being difficult to even score against. And that comes to the guiding of our centre-back position, the guiding of our defensive front. Now, Casemiro has done a really good job based on his years in the job, based on the legs that he has, and also based on the attacking prowess that he brings Manchester United. However, João Gomes would absolutely step us up when it comes to the solidity we can get from the midfield screen going to defend and just making us definitely harder to beat. Now, when you're looking at personality and what he can bring to Manchester United, he is a versatile midfielder, somebody that can play that number 6 role in terms of the defensive midfield, somebody that can still play a versatile deep line midfielder that can take the game and actually move the game forward. He can also operate in the box-to-box role. I've always said this, when it comes to this Ruben Amorim pivot system, he needs both players to be able to be deep line playmakers, number 6s, and also a box-to-box kind of player. Those are the attributes. He wants a complete midfielder in those positions. If not a complete midfielder, he would need somebody that is so good at doing the defensive part and another person that is so good at doing the offensive part to be partnered with each other, and that is what he's trying to do with Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes. Now, the good thing about this situation is not really good, but based on our focus on this video, Bruno is injured, Casemiro is a lot older, and Manchester United are looking for a way to get back into playing in Europe, playing in the Champions League, and we need reinforce in that position. And João Gomes is definitely somebody that can absolutely step up in January to do that. Now, let's look at what he also has to offer. We are looking at proactive movement and link-up play that he has the ability to do. João Gomes statistically is a destroyer, somebody that can absolutely do what we wanted Manu Ugarte to do. We have seen it in the Premier League. Manu Ugarte was an outlier because he is supposed to be so good at doing this particular role. That is why Ruben Amorim loves him so much. However, it is shocking how much his time at PSG has changed him, because what we saw at Sporting under Ruben Amorim is totally a different player. And João Gomes is the closest thing to what we are seeing or what we saw in Manu Ugarte at Sporting. You understand? He's a little bit shorter. He has a lot of strength and a lot of movement in terms of going back and forth. And that right there is a good thing. However, he does have weaknesses, and those weaknesses has to be he is not a playmaker. So if you think that you're bringing João Gomes to then be able to bust the midfield, going through players, going through teams, going through situations, he is not that for Manchester United. So we do not even have to actually go into that. He's not that. Second, offensive. He has a modest offensive output. He's not going to give us the goals that we see from Bruno Fernandes from that position. He's not going to give us the assist from Bruno Fernandes. But what he's going to give us, we have already discussed. Ball recoveries. Midfield, being able to go back and forth laterally, not having any issues in covering any part of the defensive duties that we need from that particular position. Second is his size and aerial game. It's not as tall as we expect. He's about 173 to 176 centimeters, if I'm not mistaken. He is not the greatest when it comes to aerial duels that we are absolutely loving in Casemiro. So his ground duels are definitely moderate too. So when you're looking at João Gomes in this situation, he is not the perfect candidate, both offensively and defensively, in my opinion. Now, the truth about it is that he is definitely better than what we currently have, and he would definitely make us better. However, when you're looking at this situation, the best fit for Manchester United is defensive solidity and ball recovery mixed with high work rate and a rotation option, somebody that would be able to come in and out of the team. Those are the things that we need to actually fill in January. And why do I say defensive solidity and ball recovery? He gives us protection for the centre backs and helps when United are out of possession. The work rate that truly we need in this situation is that Ruben Amorim's team is a pressed based kind of style and could use balance when the likes of Casemiro and Maino or Bruno is resting. Those are the situations that we need. And it's truly going to be a tough time for him to be able to cover everything. Now, would you tell me, if you tell me between playing with what we have and getting João Gomes in January, which would you do? I'll absolutely get João Gomes because I believe he has the talent to not only improve, but he has the talent to impact and get us better right now. And that right there, to me personally, is something that I would absolutely need in a midfielder. And for us to be able to challenge for the Champions League, that would absolutely be crucial for me personally. And then in this situation, I'm going to always just give us another options. And if you guys want me to do a deep dive on these situations too, we would absolutely do the deep dive. But these are also options that I believe could do justice when it comes to Manchester United. Number one to me, and I know we do not have the menu, or we can't get the likes of Baleba, Pillah Anderson, or Orton in January. But one thing that I believe we can do is go and get Lamine Camara. We can go and get Lamine Camara. He has all the things that I think that a midfielder needs in this situation. Just a brief breakdown. He has his perfect energy in the midfield. Next to a controller, he is definitely somebody that can do the dirty work, that can do the lateral movement, and he's also tall enough to be able to give us that vertical aerial threat also in the midfield. He raises the tempo of the game for us immediately. Now, he's not a player to slow down the game, but that is where Kobbie Mainoo would be unlocked. We have already seen Casemiro try and unlock Kobbie Mainoo and it did not go well. But one thing that we heard from Ruben Amorim today was that Kobbie Mainoo is the future of Manchester United. And if he is the future of Manchester United, we need to start surrounding him with players that would unlock him, like Lamine, I think that's his name, Lamine Camara. He would absolutely unlock Kobbie Mainoo in the way he plays. His early 20s, he's still developing tactically and mentally. This is perfect for Ineos in terms of he's going to be a cheap price. His best attributes are ball recovery, transitional speed. He wins possession and drives forward immediately. He's an ideal vertical footballer, strong in the deals despite the lean frame. He plays for Senegal. He's currently right now with the Senegalese team in AFCON. Definitely an explosive kind of player. Modern box to box is truly second to none in this situation. Another person is Alex Scott of Bournemouth. Alex Scott is truly a magnificent player. We're looking at press resistance, intelligence, elite awareness in tight spaces, rarely panics on the ball. He's truly remarkable when it comes to him just going through players and just mauling things over. Comfortable in receiving on a half turn. That is something that we do not have on this team. Alex Scott, in my mind, would definitely be somebody that I would bring in like that. He's not going to ask for too much money. The Bournemouth, I don't believe, are going to ask for a lot of money. Now, it's going to be difficult in getting him out of Bournemouth, especially because they are going to be losing Semenyo in January. But we have to try. Okay, look at what can he do going forward. Ball progression, absolutely immense. He knows how to carry the ball through people, through spaces. He knows how to dribble past a man, two men, even three. Links the midfield to the attack very smoothly. Excellent in breaking the first defensive line. It is truly something that we lack. We saw the brilliance in Lisandro Martinez playing in that position against believe it's Aston Villa. Against Aston Villa, Alex Scott would be able to do that and do more because he's a midfielder. Because he is somebody that has played this role and playing it in the team like Bournemouth that has a very high press. He knows how to step up and close out a press in order for it not to break. That right there is the reason why I believe Alex Scott is somebody that truly needs to see. We truly need to scout and we truly need to see where he fits in this team. Now, the key part about this situation is that he is Premier League ready. There's no adaptation period needed. He understands the physicality and the tempo of the league. Now, the weaknesses are still there. We are not going to lie. I said in this video, I'm going to give you the strengths and the weaknesses of these players. And in these ones, I'm not going in depth. I'm just giving you the bullet points that I wrote down. First things first is that he's not a defensive anchor that a lot of people think that he is. He is not somebody that sits there very often. He is not a ball winner like the way João Gomes is. If you get what I mean, he needs protection behind him and beside him. And in those situations, that is where Alex Scott is definitely going to be a little bit of a weakness for Manchester United. And then you look at the January cost, it is definitely going to be a premium because Bournemouth is losing Anton Semenyo. Losing another starter is going to be truly difficult for them to so he might be an expensive mid-season He might be easier in the summer, but mid-season, I think it would be perfect. Now, when it comes to United fit for Alex Scott, excellent in the number 8 box role, possession heavy setup. That is one thing that Alex Scott knows how to do very well. Enhances control and the build-up, and definitely needs a good number 6. He has the high IQ in the midfield. It's definitely an upgrade in my mind and works best with par with a defensive midfielder and not just by himself. That is one of the key things that I needed to add in this situation. Of course, we then, for the most expensive part of the situation, we look at Thuram. Khéphren Thuram is totally different. Now, he would be somebody that I would absolutely bite your fingers off if you tell me that he's available in January. Now, he's playing for Juventus, and I don't think it is going to be an easy convincing telling him to leave Juventus and come to Manchester United. Not in in this time anyway. However, I have to talk about it. It's what we do here on Pillah Sport. One thing is, how does he fit? How does he fit? He's a physical dominant, that he brings the physical dominance that United lack, carries through the midfield like freight train. Dude is so physical, so confident. He runs through people. Excellent in transition when it comes to being a midfielder, and is truly a tempo situation. Let's say he doesn't control the tempo as well as I expect him to, for being that talented and for being somebody that has that technical ability, and definitely needs structure when it comes to his coaching and everything in that situation. Now, the bottom line of this situation is that, what does Manchester United want? Right? We need to know what the bottom line is. We need immediate control, right? We need immediate control. Second, we need a high ceiling athleticism, right? We do need that. Third, we need Premier League IQ, somebody that knows the game and knows how to play it. Fourth, best all around January value. Those are the things that we need in this situation for Manchester United. And in those situations, you have to look at it. It's not one person fits all that bill. The only people that fit those bill are probably not going to leave their clubs in January. Those are the likes of Baleba, Adam Wharton, and Elliot Anderson. However, when you're looking at immediate control, you have to think about Ruben Neves. When you're looking at high ceiling athleticism, you have to look at Lamine Camara and the likes of João Gomes. So in my mind, I believe those three, right, Ruben Neves and Lamine Camara especially, in my mind, Lamine Camara would be the person that I bring into Manchester United in January for us to be able to boost our midfield. Somebody that would give us the ability to just compete for that top four situation, and then we go upgrade in the summer. And that upgrade, because Lamine Camara is a young player and somebody that understands that he's still developing, it will not create a drift. It will not create a drift in the locker room, and that truly is going to be something that will be breathtaking for Manchester United if they can do it. Paul, I hope I've answered your question, and I know this was a long-winded answer, but it gave me an option, it gave me an opportunity to make a video about players that I absolutely love and players that are not in the limelight of what Manchester United are trying to do and who are kind of to Manchester United already. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about this. Let me know, Paul, what you think about this down in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.